Good morning, everyone. 12th class, Accountancy, Book 1, Chapter 2. NPO, which we had started in the previous class, we will continue for the second term, which is the fundamentals of partnership. Fundamentals of partnership. So partnership is not a new term for you people. You have already studied partnership in 11th class. Yes, Rishabh Tomar, unmute yourself, beta. Rishabh Tomar, unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Morning.
What do you, good morning, beta. You have already studied partnership in 11th class BST, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Rishabh. So could you please tell me something about partnership? What do you mean by partnership?
Partnership means when two or more people work together in a single firm or
Yes,
a
very
group
good.
of people work.
Yes, two or more persons are required and they are there for doing any business, right? Chirag,
Yes, ma'am.
unmute yourself, beta. Yes, Chirag, would you like to add up something here? Chirag, what is your opinion about partnership? You are not audible, Chirag. I think there is some problem with your mic. Yes, any other? You can raise your hand. Aryan Bansal, would you like to add up something? I have unmuted you, Aryan. Yes, Aryan. What do you mean by partnership?
Partnership means more than one entity working in the same company, well, owner of the same company.
Company. In partnership, you are using the word company. Yes, Piyush?
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning. What do you want to say about partnership?
In partnership, we can say it is basically a contract between two or more partners who invest their capital and share their profits.
Yes, very good. Who invest the capital and there is a contract or agreement about the sharing of the profits or losses. So could you please tell me, is it necessary to have that agreement in writing?
Yes, ma'am, I think so. Because if there is no such proof, if there is no such written proof, that there are chances of conflicts.
Yes, it is advisable. It's not mandatory to have that agreement in writing, but it is always advisable to prepare that agreement, to prepare that contract in a written form to avoid any future conflicts. Yes, very good. So this is the basic knowledge which you people have about the partnership as you have already studied this in 11th class. So I will be not giving all the details. We will be doing this topic very fastly because already you all are having the complete detail of this topic. So one act is applied in the partnership. The act is Indian Partnership Act 1932. Indian Partnership Act, Indian Partnership Act 1932. So partnership is an agreement or relation between two. Now I am giving you one definition, and the definition I have prepared in such a manner that all the features of partnership are there in that definition. Okay, so you all can write partnership is a relation. Partnership is a relation in between two or more persons. So at least two persons are required in partnership. Two or more persons who have agreed to share profits or losses of a lawful business. In this definition itself, you will be having all the features of partnership. of a lawful business carried on by all or any one of them. I will be explaining this definition in detail. Carried on by all or any one of them, acting for all. Yes, this definition contains all the features of partnership. So partnership is basically a relation. Partnership is a relation in between two or more persons. This is the first feature. In partnership, at least two persons are required. Minimum person. A single person cannot start a partnership business. Who have agreed means there must be an agreement. So this is the second feature, agreement. Who have agreed to share profits or losses. There must be an agreement in between those two persons or those partners, agreement in regard to share the profits or losses. The agreement is relation to how they will be sharing the profits or losses. What will be their ratio of sharing the profits or losses? Of a lawful business. Yes, business must be lawful. Any agreement which is made by the partners to do any illegal activities that cannot be considered partnership. Suppose there are two thieves. They have made a partnership that they will be stealing the things, they will be doing the theft, and whatever the amount they will be getting, they will be dividing in between themselves. So that cannot be considered partnership in the eyes of law. Why? Because that partnership is done for unlawful business, or we can say for illegal business. So in the eyes of the law, only the businesses which are lawful can be considered as partnership. Clear? Then the business is carried on by all. Carried on by all means all are taking active participation in the management, or any one of them acting for all. In 11th, you must have studied about one feature of partnership, that is mutual agency. Yes, that is mutual agency. Mutual agency means whatever the decisions which are taken by mutual understanding, mutual consent, all the partners are binding on that decision. They cannot deny. But if any one partner has taken decision on behalf of all the partners, then other partners are again bound by the decision taken by a single partner. Why? Because partnership works on the principle of mutual agency. Each partner works as a principal or as an agent. He is agent. Agent means he can take decision on behalf of others, and he is principal. Principal means he is bounded by the decision taken by others. So this is all about the meaning and the features of the partnership. Now let's see the PDF, what it says. In partnership, three important terms are there. What are those terms? Partners, firm, and firm name. Partners, the members of the partnership are known as partners. Firm, all the partners collectively are known as a firm. All these are one marker question. So please sit with your book and underline the points, whatever I am telling you. Because otherwise, later on, it will be difficult for you to find out the one marker question from the whole chapter, because many other things are given. So that's why I am underlining here, and the same points you have to underline in your book to prepare yourself for the chapter. Then the firm name. Partners are the members who have entered in the business. Individually, each member is known as partner, and collectively they are known as a firm. And the name under which the firm is doing its business is called a firm name. Clear? Nature of partnership firm. What is the nature? Is it a separate legal identity or not? So in this regard, already in 11th class you have studied that any business can be treated as a separate legal identity only when it is having a registration process completed. So in partnership, registration is not compulsory, not mandatory. It is voluntary. If the firms are registered, then definitely they are going to get some benefits of the registration. Clear? So partnership from the legal viewpoint is not a separate legal identity, just like companies. Partnership is not a separate legal identity. Why? Because it is not necessary to get the firm registered. So it means it works on the principle of unlimited liability. Unlimited liability means whatever the firm's debts are there, they may be paid out from the personal properties of the partner. Clear? But from accounting point of view, it is a separate legal identity. Two one-marker question can be framed from this page. First, from the legal point of view, it's not a separate legal identity, but from the accounting point of view, it's a separate legal identity. Accounting entity principle is followed by the partnership. Partners' accounts are prepared in the form of capital accounts. Here. Next, essential features of partnership. Already we have discussed. So this is a very important one marker question. All these points. In partnership, I have already told you that two or more persons, at least two persons. Okay. Who cannot be the partner? Who cannot be the partner? Again, very important one marker question. Minor. You all know that who is minor? Yes, the person who has not attained the age of 18 years or below the 18 years. Why? Because his signatures are not valid in the eyes of law. So that's why minor cannot be admitted in the partnership. But he can be admitted only for the profits, not for the losses. Persons of unsound mind, it means the insane persons. There is no mental presence. So those people can take wrong decisions. And as the partnership, in partnership, mutual agency is followed. So the decision, whatever they are taking, the other partners will be bound with those decisions. So that's why the persons who are of unsound mind, incapable of taking decision, cannot be considered as partners. Persons disqualified by any law means if any criminal case is there on any person and that person is disqualified by law, so that person cannot be considered as a partner. So these are the three examples which cannot be considered as a partner. Now the next one marker question, maximum number of partners. So please listen carefully and side by side mark the lines. So maximum number of partners according to the central government, the maximum number of partner is 100. Very important one marker question. Central government, according to central government, the maximum number of partner 100. Clear? But the central government has prescribed the maximum number of partner 50. Wide rule number 10. You have to learn this rule. So if central government wants, it can extend the number of partners up to 100. But right now, this number of member is done up to 50 by the government. Wide rule number 10 of the company's rules 2014. So partnership cannot have more than 50 partners. So whenever this one marker question is asked, you will be answering that in partnership maximum 50 partners can be there. Agreement, I have already told you, the agreement may be written or oral, but it is always advisable to have a written agreement. Clear? And the written agreement is known as partnership deed. In this written agreement, each and everything about the partnership is mentioned. Lawful business, I have already told you, the business must be lawful for legal. Any illegal objective, for any illegal objective, partnership cannot be carried out. Profit sharing, the partnership among the partners must be to share the profits and losses of the business. There must be a ratio mentioned. But it is not essential. ये बहुत ही important one marker question बन सकता है. It is not essential that all the partners must share losses. Which partner cannot share losses? That is the minor partner. You cannot admit a minor as a partner, but minor can be admitted only for profits. So suppose you have admitted a minor, but he will be sharing only the profits, not the losses. So that's why this line is mentioned. It is not essential that all the partners must share losses. Theory is very important from MCQ point of view. And these 3-4 pages, beginning pages, will be giving all MCQ questions. So read and underline very carefully. Next, business can be carried on by all or any one of the partner acting for all. So this is known as principle of mutual agency. It is suppose in a partnership there are 4 partners and it is not necessary that all the partners are taking active participation in the management. Out of 4, only 2 can participate in the management. So those partners who are participating in the management will be known as active partners. And the partners who are not participating will be known as sleeping partner or dormant partner. You can write sleeping partner or dormant partner. Yes, dormant. DORMANT. The partner who have just contributed the capital and sharing the profits and losses, but they are not actively participating in the business activities of a business are known as sleeping or dormant partner. Here, a partner is acting as a principal as well as agent. This is known as mutual agency. As an agent, he is bound with the other acts. And as a principal, he is bound by the act of the other partner. As an agent, he can take decision and other partners will be bound with his decision. As a principal, he is bound by the decisions taken by other partners. Suppose A, B, C, D, 4 partners are there and management is done only by A and B. C and D are not participating in the management. So whatever the decisions are taken by A and B, C and D will be equally bound by the decisions as A and B are binding. Because C and D are acting as a principal in that case. So when they are taking decision, then they are acting as an agent. Next, in the partnership, each and every partner is having some rights. What are those rights? These rights are mentioned under Indian Partnership Act 1932. First right is right to participate in the management. It is their right to participate in the management. Now it is up to them whether they want to participate or not. It is their choice. Other partners cannot stop them to participate in the management. Clear? Next, every partner has a right to be consulted about the affairs of the business. To be consulted means whenever one partner is going to take any decision, then he should consult with the other partners. He has a right to be consulted. Then every partner has a right to inspect the books of account and to have a copy of it. Suppose A and B are the active partners, C is sleeping partner. But anytime, whenever he wants, he can check the books of account. Trial balance, ledger, journal, any book of account which he wants, because he is the partner and it is his right. The other partners cannot deny. He does not only check, he can get a copy, photostat copy of the books of account. Next, every partner has a right to share profit or losses with others in the agreed ratio. The ratio is agreed always. At the time of making of their agreement, their ratio is mentioned. Always the ratio is mentioned. Then, if a partner has given a loan to the firm, then by chance, the partners have skipped this clause in their agreement, then it is mentioned in the Indian Partnership Act, then he must be getting the interest on loan at the rate of 6% per annum. Here, at the rate of 6% per annum. But if in agreement 10% rate is mentioned, then 10% will be followed. So we can say agreement will supersede the act. If no agreement, then we will following the act. But if the agreement is there, then we will not be following the act, Indian Partnership Act. Indian Partnership Act will be followed only when the agreement is not there. Agreement means partnership deed is not there. So whatever points I am telling you, beta, all these points will be used in the numericals also. So you have to keep in mind all these points while doing the whole chapter. These are not the theoretical points. These will be used in numericals also. Then next, Every partner has a right to act according to his best judgment. Clear? And be indemnified for the expenses incurred by him. It means, suppose a partner has spent rupees 5,000 on any of the firm related activity, then he has a right to get back those 5,000 from the firm. Other partners cannot deny him. They cannot say him, you have incurred without our permission, so we are not going to bear it. So he has a right to get back their money, to reimburse their money if he has spent on firm's affair. Then every partner has a right to not to allow the admission of a new partner. This is very important right. Underline कर लीजिए इसको. Suppose A, B, C are three partners and D is a good friend of B and C. Wait a minute, give me 1 minute. A, B, C are three partners. Already they are running a partnership firm. D is a good friend of A and B. So D wants to join the partnership business. So A and B are ready. इस टाइप के क्वेश्चन आते हैं बेटा 1 मार्कर में. A and B are ready and C is denying, not ready. So 1 marker question will be, can D be admitted? So if you are seeing the majority, then out of 3, 2 are ready. It means D can be joined. But in partnership, specifically in the case of admission of a new partner, majority is never considered. Okay, majority is never considered. So in case of admission, what is considered? Consent of all the partners. I can see that many students are not writing anything. Better you will not be able to revise the chapter, to prepare the chapter without making your notes side by side, as no 6 marker, 4 marker question will be coming. So whatever points I am telling you, any point can come in exam, any point. So if you are writing all the points, you will be having all the chapter just in 2-3 pages. Okay. So that's why I am telling you again and again to write. So for admission of a partner, what is required? Consent of all the partners. If 9 partners are already there, 8 are ready and 1 is not ready, then a new partner cannot be admitted. So at the time of admission, consent of all the partners is must. So that's why it is written, a partner has a right not to allow the admission of a new partner. Next, after giving proper notice, a partner has a right to retire from the firm. These are the different chapters, admission, retirement. So if a partner is not willing to continue in the partnership, so after giving the notice, he may leave the firm by taking back all his investment and other things. Clear? Then if a partner incurs expenses on the business or he pays amount on behalf of firm, that partner gets indemnified for the payments made by him from the firm. This point and the point number 6, both are same. So if he is spending any money for the firm, he can get back that money. Other partners cannot deny for making him payment. Clear? Next, partnership deed. This topic you have already read in 11th class also. Partnership deed means written or oral agreement. In the features of partnership, I have already told you that it is very much important to have an agreement. Now it is up to the partner's wish that whether this agreement will be written or the oral. But it is always advisable to have the agreement in written form, because if we are having an oral agreement, then in future there may be clashes among the partners, and with the oral agreement, clashes cannot be removed. So there may be conflicts among the partners. So to avoid the conflicts among the partners, it is always advisable to have the agreement in written. So when the agreement is in written form, then this agreement is known as a partnership deed. Here, when the agreement is in written form, then this agreement is known as a partnership deed. Now, what is mentioned in this deed? It is a legal document and it must be signed by all the partners. If it is not signed, then you cannot bind the partners with that agreement. If you want to bind, then it must be signed. what is mentioned in the partnership deed. So description of the partner, it means name, their address. Description of the firm, it means the firm head office and the other addresses. Principal place of the business means head office, where the head office will be situated. Then nature of business, what type of business will be carried on, manufacturing, trading, service. Commencement of partnership, date of commencement. Capital contribution, what amount of capital is contributed by each partner. Then next is interest on capital. Each partner is entitled to get an interest of capital. So what will be the rate of interest on capital? Interest on drawing. If partners are making drawings, then interest is charged from them. So what will be the rate of interest on drawing? Profit sharing ratio, it is very much important that what will be the ratio of their profit sharing. Then remuneration. Some partners may be the active partner and other partners may be the sleeping partner. So active partner must be getting some salary. Otherwise, no one will be ready to work for the firm. Okay. So active partners, if any salary will be allowed to them, then that salary must be mentioned in the partnership deed in advance. Clear? Valuation of goodwill. This is a complete chapter. There we will be doing valuation of goodwill. How the goodwill will be valued. This is the third chapter. So in detail, I will be telling you there only. Then valuation of assets. If the firm is reconstituted. Reconstituted means new admission is there. Any partner is leaving the firm, then it is known as reconstitution. Then how the assets will be valued. This topic will be discussed in the next chapters, not here. How the settlement of the account will be there in case of retirement or the death of the partner. If partner is taking retirement or died, then how his settlement will be done. Then accounting period. What will be the accounting period? Either ending on 31st March or on 31st December, but mostly it is taken as 31st March. Rights, what will be the partner's right and what will be the duties? What is the partnership duration? It is for a specific partnership or a general partnership, for a particular objective partnership, or for a specific duration. Bank account, in which bank you are going to open the account. Death of a partner. If there is a death of a partner, then firm will be dissolved. Dissolved means firm business will be wind up. Clear? So this is all about the partnership deed. Settlement of the disputes. If there is any dispute, then how the dispute will be settled. What will be the procedure? In which city the dispute can be settled? In which city court the dispute can be settled? So all these things are mentioned in the partnership agreement, and this agreement is known as a partnership deed, and it must be signed by all the partners. That's it for today. Now we will continue tomorrow, and